I suppose, yes, 10.2.6, everyone's wondering where it is, why they're not talking more about it, and I'm fairly sure the reason why they're saying nothing is because it is inherently not something they can talk about without giving up the goose.
Yeah, it's like if we reveal 1% of this, we have to reveal 100% of it for context purposes or something along those lines.
What if it doesn't happen in the 10.2.6 client? Someone has actually said...
doesn't really make any sense, but yeah.
Someone has actually said... Someone in the know has said that that's apparently a thing they've heard.
Interesting.
So I don't know, but yeah, I feel like they're probably going to do something that's like thoroughly unexpected. But anyway, so like that will be quite interesting to talk about. Yeah, there's been this whole discussion of like, where's the content? But I mean, this is like an island of 2 months amid complete, schedule insanity of there always being a PTR, always being a new patch, and it being extremely fast paced. So, I mean, I'm really not that worried about it. It's been fun watching the internet lose their minds. There's been lots of little dramas. Everyone's just talking about things. Various Twitter auth members, I think, are being cancelled and cancelling each other, which is always very amusing to watch, sort of play.
Well, it beats the other things they do to each other, but,
Probably. Yeah, it's just that sort of thing. Without Blizzard dropping info, everyone's losing their minds, and I think it's really entertaining.
Which is really funny to me. Like, I think it's so... I don't know. Like, I don't want to come across as rude, but every time I see someone go mental over no news, I'm like, just log out, dude. Like, I get it, right? I get that you could easily say, well, you wouldn't say that when there's a big content or otherwise.
Oh.
But in my head, I'm like, yeah, it's just to have some patience, like.
Max almost spilled the beans last night, saying it was a banger and then dropping the subject.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. Obviously, what it is out there. People are being fed.
There you go. It's a banger. That's the news.
Yeah,
We're back. We're so back.
What's Max going to say? Kind of sucks, by the way. But you didn't hear that from me. Yeah. Yeah, I mean... that... Especially given... And I don't mean anything rude by this. Given, like, the speech pattern of Max and people who, like, kind of... I know he's not young, but, I'm thinking, like, the Zoomer linguistics. Just dropping, like, it's a banger. It's like, yeah... Yeah, I have said it's a banger about things that are like a solid 6 out of 10. So I don't really know if we can go by that. But anyway.
Well, you do like Harvestella.
Oh, I fucking love Harvestella,
there you go.
dude. Oh, that's a solid 9. Fuck off. Yes, what were we even talking about? Yeah, I think the lack of news is fine because they've said something's coming. At least that's how like it works in my head, right?
They also said like, okay, how about we actually just go and do the first topic?
Yeah, let's do that.
That's probably easier than just like talking about and then randomly repeating the thing again. So our first topic of today's stream is the sort of radio silence from Blizzard that technically isn't radio silence because Holly did pop her head above the parapet. She dropped a tweet and then I think, retreated back in. Hopefully content with, with that tweet leading to all forms of agreement, disagreement, and general chaos, which is what we love about Twitter. Sort of bizarre perpetual motion machine.
There must always be discourse.
Wow. Hey, that was well timed. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't practice that.
Yeah, shared brain cells. So, I mean, there is the inciting incident, which is not here in our document. I'm going to add to the document to sort of make it like the thing to make clear is okay, so 10.2.6, there's no PTR or anything like that. The last that we had heard was back in February, where Blizzard said that, hey, stuff's going to be coming in March, and they will talk about it then. So, now, the context here, of course, Taliesin and Avatel run a weekly World of Warcraft news show. So, to this Wowhead post saying that the This Week in, because usually the This Week in WoW blog post that Blizzard does kind of foreshadows there being, like, it won't say what an announcement is, but it will say, there's an update next Thursday or whatever that people should probably.
Yes, please come back here at 6 o'clock on Thursday. Just conveniently at the end of your work day for you in the UK and Europe, where we'll drop some big news. And you're like, class. Thanks, America.
So, anyway, they tweet, lol, foo. What's foo? Just tweet foo.
Yeah, no, there's two little characters here that you just can't see.
Fa.
You need the eyes to see them. But
yes. So, there you go. There's Taliesin phonetically tweeting, sort of Vietnamese soup. And in response to that, what happens? Well, Holly probably didn't pick up on it being not the most serious statement that they've ever issued. Sorry, we've learned that not having news and deets is frustrating for our creators and players. Stick with us for a minute. Our goal is a bit of fun. As always, we're here to learn and serve, so to speak.
Sorry, question mark?
A massive statement. A massive statement for WoW executive producer Holly Longtail.
I genuinely do like the sorry question mark. Like, sorry? What? I don't really know. Am I sorry? I don't think so. Who knows? I did see one absolutely unhinged post. I think it was on Reddit. Where someone like, this is how bad it's gotten with people being like, when's it happening? I need to know something. They were like, what's in March? That's a pretty big event. Usually a pretty nasty event for you. Happens around here.
In March.
Yes.
St. Patrick's Day?
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
She says, our goal is a bit of fun.
Oh no.
I genuinely saw someone try to make the argument that that was actually a hint that they're going to drop the patch on St. Patrick's Day. This was an American poster, and they call this St. Patty's Day, which is St. Patty. Patty is not Patrick.
Nope. It's time to nuke America. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm assuming. Yeah. So that's how bad things have gotten.
Yeah.
People are going, please. Is it March 14th? We need a day. 14th, 17th. Jesus Christ, man. This is March 17th. We need a day, please, just anything. So maybe it is. Or maybe it isn't. Maybe it's next week. Maybe it's the week after. Maybe, I think it was Keyboard Turn was like based on like patch timing saying it's like March 26th or after. And I'm like, please no. I cannot deal with another like 3 weeks of people going, where's the news, please? Where is it at? But yes. Yeah, so I don't know if there's a whole pile to say about Holly's response outside of, I like that they're not acquiescing.
Yes.
I like that they're like, Holly didn't go, oh, I'm so sorry. Actually, we have left you in the dark for too long. Here's all the information. Here's hints and stuff like that. Yet.
They could be mid acquiesce right now, but they just haven't hit send.
Based at 7 on a Friday, maybe they'll acquiesce next week.
Yeah.
If they're acquiescing at all, but I can't imagine it.
Like, I guess the thing is it full? I suppose it's called a shadow drop now, isn't it? Is that what we call it?
It's what it's called.
I see. So it's either they go that or they say, hey, everyone, patch comes out next Tuesday. Woo! And then no more, no more details. Overall, I think that a lot of the terminally online stuff is profoundly silly, and it's probably time to, maybe at that stage, drop your sub for a few months or go and play another video game.
Sorry, I paid for a 6 month sub. I can't.
Well, in that case, by all means, please continue. It's very entertaining for the rest of us.
I wonder if that's like an actual kind of problem here, where a lot of people.
Well, it certainly was a 6 month sub in the past. Like, remember in BFA and stuff, like, hey, 6 month sub, or Shadowlands, that was the worst. 6 month sub. Maybe there'll be a patch. Maybe it'll have something in it. Who knows?
What am I paying for? Nothing. Sweet.
You're
excellent.
Matt, you're paying to continue being in the Shadowlands on your characters.
How far do chargebacks go? Because I will phone MasterCard right now and be like, right, you see this? I didn't realize I was paying to be waterboarded. Thanks.
Where I think this does get interesting to me, though, is what is the right way to build hype? So you could maybe say there's a version of this that's like an ARG where there is a degree of community participation where you still get the mystery. Blizzard don't have to give out solid details, but they, I suppose, create a bit of a game to keep everybody busy. I suppose that's the equivalent of, instead of putting your dog's food in a bowl, putting it in one of those little puzzle balls and then letting the community solve the puzzle bowl while you, as the adults, just, go and do something else.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's... Because I think if you think about it from the other way, instead of like what would be the ideal thing, what is the issue people are having here? And I think it is just uncertainty. It's a combination of no release date. It's a combination of no idea what the patch is in regards to, is it something that, I guess, I'd say for a lot of people, it's kind of, is this something you should be interested in as a player? Because obviously this is going to be like a little side game that's like, hey, this is a kind of fun little, like the Vampire Survivors kind of S thing. How many players would be told that's what it is and go, well, I don't give a shit. I'm not being excited about your patch because it's just that. So it's like, I guess there's a little bit of uncertainty, and uncertainty is probably the major issue.
I think Blizzard's challenge there is, you could try to meet the concerns of some players, but in doing so, you'd throw water in the excitement for others. So they're probably in this situation where they likely feel like a half measure would probably help their most like active people, but it could do that at the expense of, I suppose, the surprise and the engagement and all of that they would like to generate with like the games press and broader audiences whenever this does happen, right? So the idea of, World of Warcraft has dropped something that nobody expected, that isn't the normal format of the game. We were told that it was something that would be relevant to people who are sub to both modern and, and classic. That is inherently kind of interesting because it means...
Relevant to is maybe not the best choice of words, but accessible by.
Yeah. Which essentially means you'll need to have a WoW sub, but I mean it's
you don't need to own Dragonflight or have an active Dragonflight character, basically.
Yes. So that basically means it's likely not on the classic branch of the WoW code. It's probably taking place on live. But the thing is, all you need is an account. So either this is...
And 120 gig free in your hard drive, but that's an aside.
True. So either this is something that you do in the normal Dragonflight client, but you don't need a max level character for, or it is another like download. Now that wouldn't be another like massive download, because you know the way that they have like the core WoW data, and you know the way like the way that the installs work.
Yeah, they share data between clients.
Yeah, so like if you're downloading like a new PTR, it's usually a tiny.
It's whatever content they've had in the PTR and nothing more.
So they could do something like that and you'll have a different drop down. Maybe that could like tie into both. I'm not exactly sure. I guess when you hear people say like it's a banger, it's something different, it does make me wonder, especially since it should be open to everybody. Because if they're going to do something that's open to everybody who is playing WoW and it's not a max level Dragonflight character, that almost says that it's something that can be done on a new character.
Yeah, it's something that is theoretically, like we discussed this before, theoretically class and level agnostic.
Yeah.
Which would make complete sense if it was a complete side game where, you throw your character in, or, a complete different sense of aggression that's not tied in whatsoever. Which is what we talked about with like the idea of the Survivors like game where you can just kind of do whatever. You can just literally... here's a different set of gear. Requirement level 1, you don't need anything. It doesn't give you XP, it doesn't give you anything that's like relevant to the like main game. Maybe it gives you like all like side rewards like mounts or pets or something if they want people to do it. They'll put that in for sure, or maybe they'll give you transmog, something like that, but it'll be a thing of this is what you'd actually
hang on a second.
Play.
Could this be interesting?
What a question.
Hang on.
What a question.
Let me follow up on that. You're making a new character for this thing, whatever it is.
Or using the existing ones.
What happens? Because in some versions of Classic, you can essentially, move your character over from, like, say, hardcore to normal when it dies or whatever. Makes me think, and now I'm thinking about, say, leveling if you're doing a Vampire Survivors-like thing, I'm beginning to wonder, yes, if this is some sort of fun new gameplay event thing, what if it ends up also being something that levels characters for you? Maybe not in the way where it's the most efficient thing, but like WoW has big new thing, big new event. While you're doing that event, maybe you're gaining like levels, whatever it is, and then that can feed back into main retail WoW. And to continue that line of thought, right? This is maybe going a little bit like, this is a multi-layered dimensional chess plan. But what if then they're doing that because they know there's a new season, then there's also Darkheart, and then that's in and around the same time that the beta for War Within will be, after they've just tried to activate way more of their audience via a special game mode right before the War Within cycle properly starts. So what if this is essentially them trying to reinvigorate some of their foundation and get some lapsed players back in?
So I think you're probably overthinking the technicalities of it in terms of like it's a different drop down or a different client version or something like that, or a different, even a different realm that you transfer to and back from. I assume this will just be something you queue into or something along those lines. Literally, I'm thinking this purely from like the technical perspective. And obviously I don't know how like World of Warcraft is architected technically in any detail whatsoever, but all of that seems like every step removed from you just press the button and queue in and you can get levels from like it just grants XP sounds way too much when they're likely to have the vast majority of the engineers on the War Within doing more technical stuff. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I can't imagine it being super complex, but that doesn't detract from the fact that if you have the idea of, right, here's someone who's never played retail or lapsed out of retail, modern. I need to learn to say modern instead of retail. They're playing Dragonflight. Oh, well, how do we want them to do War Within? Well, what if we give them a level 70 for logging in and playing this new game mode for a couple hours and they get to familiarize themselves with like the different feeling, but not core gameplay. Without having to do that. That would make sense, right? That would completely make sense. So I don't really know what. It's hard when you're anchored, right? Because I'm anchored to this idea of like the first idea I had that made sense, which is it's a Vampire Survivors game mode. It maybe temporarily sets your level to something different, or it just scales you to whatever, and then it has a different set of gear. A different set of gear that auto equips or auto de-equips, and has a different set of like talent stuff that applies in it if you want progression like that, or gear upgrades, stuff like that. So it's very difficult to level agnostic Torghast rogue. Like it's kind of something gameplay in the corner that doesn't.
Well, I just have a feeling whatever they do, they will want it to fold back in. Well, they want to sort of fold back into the dough and then be relevant to War Within.
Yeah,
I'm thinking growth hacking wise, and then a little bit of the very limited amount of information that I had heard from industry source, but not directly from Blizzard. So I, don't know.
So Palace of the Dead. Honestly, that's probably the closest comparison that would make sense. Is just here's a game mode that's class and well, obviously Palace of the Dead is not class agnostic or job agnostic, I should say, but actually class and job agnostic both work because you can play it as classes anyway. Just you go in, you do the stuff, you get levels or whatever else because leveling up is fine, whatever. And then that could be something you do during pre-patch as well. Yeah. Just kind of keep this going for and go, you can just get a max level character from doing some side stuff, whatever, we don't care. But that's like obviously the goal, the kind of the big intent, how do we get people to actually click this? And how do we get big gains? How do we justify
big gains
using the engineer time and the designer time to this? What is otherwise in the game is like all that growth hacking stuff you were talking about of just, you've got a sub, try this out and we'll smuggle you into liking modern World of Warcraft, maybe.
See, I just have to think that that's kind of the plan.
Yeah, I don't. I'd almost say I don't really care because that's so kind of obvious.
Oh, okay, true.
That you're like, and also I don't know if that. Mostly because I'm speaking to a primarily modern playing audience, but I don't know how much that super matters. But
I suppose for it to matter to a modern audience, it would need to have the involvement of a brand of some sort.
I meant modern as in capital M, modern World of Warcraft, not modern audience in small m, modern audience. If it was modern audiences, it would just give you Fortnite skins.
Yeah, okay, so what's your top brand collab to be like, for this event to be centered around?
Overwatch did Outlaw Star. No, Overwatch did Cowboy. I spoiled it, damn it. Overwatch did Cowboy Bebop, so this one has to be Outlaw Star. There we go.
There we go. Okay, well, we've solved that. We've solved that. We know the player housing is coming in patch 10.2.6, a massive feature for all World of Warcraft fans, and the game is well and truly back.
How did you get all of that from that? Oh my goodness.
Amazing, yes.